Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the March 20th Town Board meeting. Please rise for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Jeff Renahan, First Ward.
Bill Carlos, Second Ward.
Jessica Lopez, Third Ward.
Matthew Williver, Fifth Ward.
Ann Schurshin, Sixth Ward.
Felicia Salvatore, Town Clerk.
Jim Nelson, attorney for the town.
John Baisley, Town Supervisor. Welcome, everybody. We have a rather small agenda tonight. The first item on the agenda is appoint Kareem Burns as a permanent part-time police assistant. 2 is appoint Eliza Vasile as a permanent part-time police assistant. 3, appoint Aaron Downing as a permanent part-time police assistant. 4, appoint Eric Lamery as a temporary full-time police assistant. 5, authorize April as Worldwide Parkinson's Disease Awareness Month. 6, authorize Duchess Dodge Neames Way referred to planning in the first setting of public hearing. 7, approve fitness 5K run and walk. 8, approve Kaya calling 5K run and walk. Jeff, you're better than me.
ATC.
AT, that works. 9, accept the retirement of Louise Baranick for wastewater collection department. 10, appoint Jay Kozik, substitute court attendant at the Justice Court. 11, approve the fund balance policy. 12, authorize the supervisor sign Central Hudson Street Lighting Authority, Abe's Way. 13, retain McGrath and Company for appraisal services, Poughkeepsie Plaza, LLC. 14, authorize Supervisor Basic calling Grace Productions, LLC to use various Town of Poughkeepsie roads and locations. 15, notification of following claims be referred to legal. Jannert versus the town and Barcher versus the town. And we have a few SCs tonight. Approve the Town of Poughkeepsie Little League Opening Day Parade. 2, approve Paul's Public House HVARS Adoption Day. 3, approve Paul's Public House Autism Event. 4, approve Marist College Riverfest Fireworks. 5, authorize the sale of a surplus vehicle in the Highway Department. 6, authorize the purchase of a dump truck in the Highway Department. We have further resolved that upon the objection of any member, these can be removed from the list and voted on separately. I'd like a motion to suspend the rules on any item on the agenda.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody have, Tori?
A question about agenda item number 6, the rezoning of Duchess Dodge. So is that's the current Duchess Dodge? Because it says that it was to be rezoned from R20, which is single-family residential.
It's property behind the Dodge dealership. Doreen.
Okay, so it's not actually Duchess Dodge.
Correct.
The vacant lot next to.
Yeah,
Okay.
behind it, yeah.
Okay, because I was going to say that didn't seem like that then would be an allowable use there at this time. So, okay, so it's a separate parcel, to be made a separate parcel?
Yes, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all the property, the old farm behind it.
Okay. And then agenda item number 13, that's related to a tax cert for the Poughkeepsie Plaza. So, again, it seems every year that the plaza asks to have their assessment lowered. I mean, I looked at, I think, the last 2 years. And so, like, what's the basis for this? I mean, they're making improvements to the plaza right now, and like, as a homeowner, if I make improvements to my house, the value of my house goes up and I have to pay more taxes, and yet they're asking for a lowering of their assessment.
That's correct, and that's why we're hiring an appraiser to actually defend our case more than just make an agreement. We figure it's time to stand our ground on some of these cases.
Okay, so this one, then you're going forward. I mean, I did see it was to hire the appraiser, but, okay, so if necessary, there's a potential for a court, so, okay. All right, and then SC6, is that for the highway truck that's in the current budget?
Coming out of CHIPS money.
Okay, all right, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Make a motion to resume the rules?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Renahan.
Be resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby appoint Kareem Burns to the position of permanent part-time police assistant with the Town of Poughkeepsie Police Department at grade 6, step 1 salary of $22.02 per hour, which appointment is subject to a probationary period of not less than 8 nor more than 26 weeks per civil service law, effective March 25th, 2019. And be it further resolved that the town supervisor is authorized to execute and file all documentation required by the Dutchess County Department of Human Resources in connection with this appointment. So moved.
Second.
The motion is second. Any questions on this? These are all in the budget. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0.
Resolution number 2, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby appoint Elisa Vasili to the position of permanent part-time police assistant with the Town of Poughkeepsie Police Department at the grade 6, step 1 salary of $22.02 per hour, which appointment is subject to a probationary period of not less than 8 nor more than 26 weeks per civil service law, effective March 25th, 2019. And be it further resolved that the town supervisor is authorized to execute and file all documentation required by the Dutchess County Department of Human Resources in connection with this appointment. So moved.
Second.
The motion is second. Any questions on this? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0.
Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby appoint Aaron Downing to the position of permanent part-time police assistant with the Town of Poughkeepsie Police Department at the grade 6, step 1 salary of $22.02 per hour, which appointment is subject to a probationary period of not less than 8 nor more than 26 weeks per civil service law, effective March 25th, 2019. And be it further resolved that the town supervisor is authorized to execute and file all documentation required by the Dutchess County Department of Human Resources in connection with this appointment. So moved.
Second.
The motion is second. Any questions on this one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0.
Resolution 4, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby appoint Eric Lamery to the position of temporary full-time police assistant with the Town of Poughkeepsie Police Department for a period not to exceed 90 days at his current rate of pay, effective April 8th, 2019. Be it further resolved that the town supervisor is authorized to execute and file all documentation required by the Dutchess County Department of Human Resources in connection with this appointment. So moved.
Second.
The motion is second. Any questions on this one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0.
Whereas Parkinson's disease is a progressive neurological movement disorder of the general nervous system, which has unique impact on the patient, and whereas according to Parkinson's Action Network, the Parkinson's Disease Foundation, the American Parkinson's Disease Association, and the National Institutes of Health, there are over 1 million Americans diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, and whereas symptoms include slowness, tremors, difficulty with balance and speaking, rigidity, cognitive and memory problems, and whereas although new medicines and therapies may enhance life for some time for people with Parkinson's, more work needs to be done for a cure, and whereas increased education and research are needed to help find more effective treatments with fewer side effects and ultimately a cure for Parkinson's disease, and whereas a multidisciplinary approach to Parkinson's disease care includes local wellness support and caregiver groups, and whereas April is proclaimed the Worldwide Parkinson Awareness Month for all to recognize the need for more research and help in dealing with devastating effects of Parkinson's disease. Now therefore, be it resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie proudly proclaims the month of April 2019 as Parkinson Awareness Month and encourages all municipal officials, citizens, and visitors to participate in scheduled activities to learn more about Parkinson's disease. So moved.
Second.
The motion is second. Any questions on that one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. Whereas the town board has received an application from Neems Partners LLC requesting a change of zoning for tax parcel number 134-689-6159-01-120956 in the easterly portion of tax parcel number 134-689-6159-01-065967, known as Dutchess Dodge Neems Way, located at 2285 to 2291 South Road, Poughkeepsie, New York 12601 in the town of Poughkeepsie, consisting of approximately 5.2 acres of land from R20 district to Business Highway BH district, and whereas the proposed amendment is attached to and incorporated herein, and the town board does hereby waive a verbatim reading of said amendment, and it is directed said amendment be spread across the record as if it, in fact, had been read verbatim. Whereas a change of zoning would involve a 5.2 acre site, the action to amend the zoning map is an unlisted action under the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act. Whereas the town board has determined the proposed amendment must be referred to the Dutchess County Department of Planning and Economic Development and to the town planning board for review and recommendations. Where the town board has examined 6 NYCRR 617.2U and 617.6B5V of the State Environmental Quality Review Act, SEQR, regulations as determined by the Town of Poughkeepsie Planning Board through its site plan and subdivision plat review and approval authority under Chapter 210 and Chapter 177 of the Town of Poughkeepsie Code, has extremely broad governmental powers to investigate the potential environmental effects associated with the application, has experience and capability necessary to conduct a thorough environmental assessment of the action. And whereas amending the zoning map requires a public hearing, now therefore be resolved, the town board has determined the action should be subject to a coordinated review because the proposed use of the property will, among other permits and approvals, require site plan and subdivision approval by the town planning board. Therefore, the board consents to the planning board acting as the lead agency to coordinate the environmental review of the proposed action pursuant to Article 8 of the Environmental Conservation Law. 2. Town board refers this matter to the Dutchess County Department of Planning and Economic Development for a recommendation pursuant to GML 239M. The town board refers this matter to the town planning board for an advisory report pursuant to Town Code Section 210-154. 4. The town board hereby defers setting a public hearing on the proposed zoning amendment until it has received a recommendation and a determination of significance from the planning board as lead agency. So moved.
Second.
And a motion and a second. Any questions on this one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0.
Be it resolved that the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does hereby approve the application of Crunch Fitness to hold a Crunch 5K to benefit the Poughkeepsie Children's Home on Sunday, May 5th, 2019. Location of which run is from Crunch Fitness through Crown Heights and back to Crunch Fitness. And be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does hereby approve the application for said Crunch 5K pending receipt by the town clerk of a certificate of liability insurance naming the town of Poughkeepsie as an additional insured. So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions on that one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0.
Resolution 8. Be resolved that the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does hereby approve the application submitted on behalf of KTC Monastery to hold a 5K run walkathon on September 29th, 2019 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Sheaf Road. And be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does hereby approve the application for said KTC 5K run walkathon pending receipt by the town clerk of a certificate of liability insurance naming the town of Poughkeepsie as an additional insured. So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any questions on that one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0.
Be it resolved that the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does hereby accept with regret the retirement of Luis Baranek, typist, with the town of Poughkeepsie wastewater collection department effective March 23rd, 2019. So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any questions on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0. I'd like to wish Louise the best in her retirement, and thanks for all the help in all the departments she worked in throughout the years.
Resolution 10, be it resolved that the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie hereby appoint Jay Cossack as a substitute court attendant at the Justice Court at a salary of $15 per hour, effective immediately. And be it further resolved, the town supervisor is authorized to execute and file any documentation required by the Dutchess County Department of Human Resources in connection with this appointment. So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any questions on this one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0.
Be resolved, the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does hereby adopt for itself and all officers and employees of the town of Poughkeepsie the Annex Fund Balance Policy, the provisions of which shall be effective immediately. So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any questions on this? This is something we haven't had in place, and after going to Association of Towns, we dug through and we got some, and this just gives us a direction where to go for our fund balances and keep us in check with all the standards. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0.
It's you.
Me?
It's you, Jay.
It's me. Be resolved, the town board of town of Poughkeepsie is hereby authorized the supervisor to to execute a Central Hudson Gas and Electric Corporation Street Lighting Authority order for the installation of an LED street light on Abe's Way, a copy of which is attached. So moved.
Second.
The motion is second. Any questions on this one?
Oh, this is a really good move. I've been there at night, and it's really dark.
This is the start. This is the entrance to the senior center.
Yeah.
Right out in Southgate. It's a dark spot, so
Yeah.
hopefully this will light that
Need the
intersection up.
road fixed.
What?
Now we need to have the road fixed.
We're getting there. We'll light it up first.
Oh, okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0.
Be resolved that the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie finds that it is in the best interest of the town to retain McGrath and Company, Inc. for appraisal service for the town of Poughkeepsie for a tax certiorari proceeding instituted by Poughkeepsie Plaza Mall LLC against the town for the assessment rolls for the years 2015 and 2018. Such retention to be in accordance with the fee appraisal quote dated March 11, 2019, annexed hereto, and that Kyle W. Barnett Esquire, Vandewater and Vandewater LLP, and/or Kathleen D. Tabor, Town Assessor, are authorized to sign such papers as are necessary to effectuate the retention. So move.
Second.
Give a motion second. Any questions on this one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0.
Resolution 14. Be it resolved that the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does hereby authorize the supervisor to execute an agreement allowing Calling Grace Productions, LLC, hereinafter Calling Grace, to hold a movie production at the South Hills Mall in the town of Poughkeepsie on April 9th, April 10th, May 20th, and May 30th, with the possibility of additional days and locations being added at a later time. And does hereby authorize the town of Poughkeepsie Police Department, subject to its standard policies, procedures, and charges, to provide traffic control assistance subject further to Calling Grace receiving all the required building and other permits and owner's consents, agreeing to indemnify, defend, and hold the town and its officers harmless, and to provide the town acceptable proof of workers' compensation insurance, automobile insurance, and general liability insurance, naming the town of Poughkeepsie as an additional insured. So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Any questions on this one?
Does this mean I won't be able to shop at Hobby Lobby on these days? My husband will be happy about that.
I think the majority of it is going to be in Coles Plaza. So you have to
Gotcha.
stay out of Coles Plaza.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0.
15 is a notification of claims to legal. 16, be it resolved that the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does hereby grant special consent to the following items, to wit: 1, approve town clerk, Town of Poughkeepsie Little League Opening Day Parade. 2, town clerk to approve Paula's Public House Adoption Day. 3, town clerk to approve Paula's Public House Autism Event. 4, town clerk to approve Marist College Riverfest fireworks. 5, highway superintendent to authorize sale of surplus vehicle in the highway department. 6, authorize highway superintendent to purchase dump truck in highway department. And be it further resolved that upon the objection of any member of the town board, an item may be removed from the list and voted on separately. So moved.
Second.
There's a motion second. Any questions on this? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 6-0.
SC1.
7-0.
7-0. Forgot Mike got here. Please take note that Councilman Savone showed up at 7:16.
Whereas Town Board, Town of Poughkeepsie has heretofore received an application from Terry Decker on behalf of the Town of Poughkeepsie Little League to hold an opening day parade on April 13, 2019 at 10 a.m., which parade route is outlined on the attached documentation. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board, Town of Poughkeepsie is hereby approve the application for said opening day parade, and that the town clerk is in receipt of a certificate of liability insurance, naming the Town of Poughkeepsie as an additional insured. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion second. Any questions on this one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Special consent 2, be it resolved that the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does hereby approve the application received from Paula Youngbora to hold an HVARS adoption day at Paula's Public House located at 2186 New Hackensack Road, Poughkeepsie, New York, on June 1st, 2019, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Be it further resolved, the town board of the town of Poughkeepsie does hereby approve the application for said event pending receipt of a certificate of liability insurance, naming the town of Poughkeepsie as an additional insured. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion second. Any questions on that one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Be it resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby approve the application received from Donna M. Chamberlain to hold an outdoor autism event at Paula's Public House located at 2186 New Hackensack Road, Poughkeepsie, New York, on May 19th from 12:30 to 9 p.m. And be further resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby approve the application for said pending receipt of a certificate of liability insurance naming the Town of Poughkeepsie as an additional insured. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions on this one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Whereas the Town Board of Town of Poughkeepsie has heretofore received an application from Marist College to include a fireworks display in its River Fest event to be held on April 26, 2019, with the rain date of Saturday, April 27, 2019. Whereas the applicant has notified the Fairview Fire District, and whereas a certificate of liability insurance has been filed with the town clerk, naming the Town of Poughkeepsie as additionally insured. Now therefore be it resolved, the Town Board of Town of Poughkeepsie has hereby approved the application as submitted for fireworks display to be held on Friday, April 26, 2019, 9 p.m. with the rain date of April 27th, 2019 on Marist College Riverfront property, 3399 North Road, Poughkeepsie, New York. So moved.
Second.
Get a motion and a second. Any questions on that one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie, having received a communication from Highway Superintendent Mark Pfeiffer, does declare one tri-axle dump truck, as shown on the attached memorandum, to be surplus, and does hereby approve the sale of said vehicle at the price indicated. And be it further resolved that the Town Board does authorize the sale of the said vehicle for the total sum of $32,000 to Briggs Paving Company. And be it further resolved that this is a type 2 action under the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act, and it requires no environmental review. So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0.
Special consent 6, whereas the Town of Poughkeepsie Highway Department wishes to purchase a Kenworth T470 single-axle dump truck. Now therefore be it resolved that after reviewing the recommendations of the Highway Superintendent Pfeiffer, the Town Board of the Town of Poughkeepsie does hereby authorize the Supervisor or Highway Superintendent to execute such documents as are required to purchase one Kenworth T470 single-axle dump truck through Gabrielli Truck Sales of Hicksville, New York, under NJPA contract number 081716-KTC at a price of $240,167.98, the cost of which is covered by CHIPS funds. And be it further resolved that the contract is exempt from the town's purchasing policy because it is a state bid contract, and it is an equipment purchase which is a type 2 action requiring no secret review. So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any questions on that one? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes 7-0. Come to the end of our agenda. I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody got anything to say? Doreen?
So at the last meeting, Jay, you read off quite a list of items that you had worked on. One was the study for the potential consolidation of the town facilities in the Arlington Fire District, and that was the $150,000 from the county for shared services. So what's the status of that? Where's it at?
They put together the size of what we need in locations. We've looked at multiple locations, and they're finishing up, and I say within the next month, they should be just about done. We're trying to iron out some possible locations, and we've looked at a few and taken a few out of the picture. So we had to go back and look for a few more. I think we're pretty close to probably being done next month, month and a half.
Okay, so, and the study was for $150,000, so you're not going over that budget, right? Okay,
Not yet, that hasn't been in the picture, so no.
okay, that's good.
There was a gap of some money left over, so if there was any extra work that had to be done, there was a little bit, but we're not over.
Okay, good. Also, at the last meeting, when you read your list, you mentioned the Arlington Avenue School, and I know that I had asked about this earlier on last year. So are they seeking a pilot for this, the payment in lieu of taxes?
They came in and started to discuss a pilot, but there's nothing formal yet. We had a discussion, told them, give us some numbers, but we haven't really sat down with any major numbers yet.
Okay, because
To see what they come out with.
as I've said before, and it came up at the last master plan committee meeting when the school superintendents were there and they talked about the pilot programs and the impact on them. And, again, it used to be mainly nonprofit organizations that asked for these payment in lieu of taxes. And now it seems like every developer is asking for it. And again, my take on this is, they're reaping the benefits, yet they want to pay lower taxes, and then that means the rest of us town residents have to pick up the slack. And also, even if there are, we've heard developers come in and they talk about they're cleaning up brownfields, and one was the Dutton project, they had mentioned that. But they also get millions of dollars in state tax credits for that. So you really need to keep that in mind. So. And then at the last meeting, it was also discussed a law about cleaning up after your dogs. And actually, that was put in place 10 years ago, the law. And there was, I think it was quite a bit of discussion. It was who should implement the law. Was it the animal control officer? Was it the police? Was it zoning? And I had listened to some of the audio, and it seemed that the animal control officer was the person who was, supposed to do that. So, Jessica, I saw you talk to those residents afterwards.
Yeah, I've
So-
actually since talked to them, and we've already come up with a plan and resolved it, and I've
Because
been
they
in contact.
spent quite a bit of time on this 10 years ago, and it was at Mike's request because it was a problem in his ward. So,
Yeah, we've resolved it. We came up with a plan. They've been in contact with the dog warden. There were a couple other pieces in there that were making it sticky, but they know what they have to do to resolve it now, so we're all set.
Right. And the last thing is that I went past the Hudson River Psych Center today, and the site, all the trees that have been cleared. And, I really think that the planning board needs to do a better job of requesting of developers that they leave more trees. Well, we all know it's a lot easier just to come in and clear the site and then go back and plant. But you're never going to replant the size of the trees that were there. A lot of times they replant with these ornamental trees, which don't provide the same benefit as the trees that were there. I just feel that, we have a tree protection law, we have tree permits that are supposed to be in place. You're not supposed to clear the site until the final site plans are signed. And, I think that there's just not enough attention being given to protection of our natural resources in the town. And trees, in addition to providing habitat, I keep talking about this, it's flood control, air quality, noise reduction, and there's just more and more trees that are being cut. So I really think we have enough information. We have the biodiversity study that was done by Hudsonia. There's inventory that had been done, natural resources inventory. It's just that and the town board, I think, needs to be a little more proactive in that. We're on you're on the Hudson 7, you're the water council there to try to protect the Hudson River. All of this stuff affects our drinking water. So they're just, I don't think enough is, the 12 years I was on the Conservation Advisory Commission, I wrote many letters asking the planning board to take into consideration tree preservation, not to allow building in, wetlands, wetland buffers, floodplains, but I just think more needs to be done. We know a lot more now, and we just need to be a little more proactive.
Okay. Anything else, Tori?
Nope.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? Motion to resume the rules?
Second.
Those in favor?
Maybe we should mention, though, that we're having another band concert this Saturday at the Senior Center. And help me out, what is the time, Jay?
6:30 to 8:30.
It's 6:30 to 8:30?
Yeah.
Okay, 6:30 to 8:30, and it's open to the public.
Rico Suave.
That's right.
Very good.
Yes.
Okay.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.